Hey beautiful people, today we are going behind the chair with the inside exclusive with Transitional Roots. She just moved into a new space and she is allowing us to get her first interview in her new space. So let's go.
Hi,
hey,
welcome to Transitional Roots.
Thank you.
Please come on in.
Okay, nice.
Yes, let me show you around.
Okay. So Miss Yolanda, before we get started, what style are we going to be doing today?
So we're going to be doing some crochet maintenance just to make sure that your parts are clean. And then we're going to do a heart-shaped halo.
Okay, nice. I'm excited.
Me too.
All right. I love like how you said like you have transitioned your roots. Like it's just like it's a full circle moment.
Yeah.
You know? Like you really uprooted yourself from one space and have rooted into this space. Now this is your new space and it's a transition and now you're growing into this space. Like everything kind of connects.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's definitely a transition. Since when I decided to move, I didn't know exactly what the price tag was going to be on it, how I was going to come up with it. All I knew it was a time for change.
It's like so much hair within one, even though they look, I mean, people say they look big, but I don't think they that big. They are thick. Like, I don't know.
No, I love them though. I mean, I would consider them large locks. Okay. They are large. Okay. The reason why I would consider large and not extra is because with locks, it's actually based off the size of the part, not the actual size of their actual locks, because everybody has different density. Right. You just so happen to have high density, high porosity hair. Okay. So anybody else, my hair isn't as high density as yours. So if I was to get parts your size, my locks will be significantly smaller. Okay. Just because my density isn't that thick, so it wouldn't be as many follicles or strings of hair in one lock. Okay. So your parts are a large part, but that's the reason why you have so many, because you have high density hair. You have your strands are extremely close together, and you have a lot of them. Right. Okay. You have a lot.
And so so when it comes to like someone thinking about getting locks, is that something that they need to consider when they're thinking about how there's going to be like the grid's going to be laid out and all that type of stuff?
Definitely. That is actually one-on-one of locks. You need to know the density of a person's hair, because if their lock inspiration is something like, a lot of people bring in locks like Lauryn Hill, which is almost like what you have, but they're expecting to have these thick locks where the parts can be big, but if you have very low density hair, then your locks aren't going to be that thick, no matter how big the parts are. So a person can, have the same size parts as you, but have significantly less locks, and they're expecting something different. Or a person with your high porosity, high density hair, get a whole bunch of tidy locks, and you look like Mufasa because you got so many locks. Yep. So yeah, that's really, really, really important. When I teach my classes, I teach them on hair type and texture, just because a person can have an inspiration of what their locks look like, but you have to be able to know how to achieve that for them and educate them on why this type of lock is recommended for what you're looking for.
That makes sense.
Part your hair. The density is how many strands are in an area close together. So if you see, no matter how you part your hair, your strands are almost touching each other. That's high density. And then your hairline comes all the way up. Your hairline is high density as well. A lot of people have thinner hairlines or thinner napes, and then their density starts back here. But yours, you have extremely high because all your strands are very, very close together. Mine are not like that. So my strands of hair is actually thick, but the density, the placement of them is very low, so they're spaced apart. Right. So that's the difference.
Okay, I got you. So it's like less strands per square inch.
Right, right.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. So that's usually how I educate people my class on the density, what density means. The porosity is your hair. Sometimes your hair can be very porous. So a lot of people, so say for instance, you wanted to get color or you wanted to add something to your hair, but it's very porous, meaning there's holes in it.
Okay.
You would need to put like a protein or something on it to fill in those spaces. Before you're able to change the color. Sometimes it holds on to a lot of moisture because there's so many holes that once the moisture gets in there, it just holds on to it. So that's why I had to rinse your hair so much. Okay. Because it was very high porosity.
Okay. Wow. Very interesting. So so you say you did the vision board with your friend, and then you hung it up, and you were asking God a specific question.
Yeah, so I was asking God just to make things plain, because sometimes we get so caught up in what we think we may have, or if we know somebody going down the same journey, we kind of like mirror what we were told they did. But I wanted him to show me my purpose and how he wanted me to go do it. So he started showing me lots and lots and lots of direction. So as I started stepping into my discernment, after you guys left the last time, about an hour later, I found this space.
Wow. And so last time we spoke, you kind of talked about how you got into doing hair, where your passion came from. And you said a lot of that came from your mother. You seen your mother run her salon and her caring for people. How has that kind of morphed how you treat your clients now?
So my mom was really, really big on trying to reduce someone's trauma. And she also was big on body language. So my mom knew that there was a lot of people that can't actually express their feelings, or they were kind of like conditioned that if you say, how are you doing? They're conditioned to say, I'm fine. But their body language is saying that they're uncomfortable. So what my mom would do is, if someone is sitting with a relaxer and she says, how you doing? If they're saying they're fine, she would look to how they're sitting, if they're fidgeting or something like that. And she would say to them, are you itching? Are you burning? You know, she would ask them questions that they would have to actually answer, rather than just saying, I'm fine. Because people can be very uncomfortable expressing or being vulnerable, especially if they're new to you and they don't know how you're going to take it. So I actually took that on when I'm speaking to my clients. I ask people, even when I'm putting on witch hazel, how's your scalp? Is this making you itch, burn, or is it tingling? Things like that, because even though witch hazel isn't supposed to burn, sometimes you might have a cut in your hair or your scalp and you don't know that it's there. But if I ask you, are you feeling any of those things? You may be like, oh, okay, I am feeling that. That way the client can feel more comfortable talking to you, and you know that they know that you're paying attention to them.
Right. Okay. And that right there can kind of build the client's trust for you as well.
Absolutely. And my whole thing here at Transitional Roots, I want you guys to feel like we are family. I want you to feel like you are comfortable expressing to me what's going on. I have clients that have started their weight loss journey on or without with or without supplements, and it changes the texture of your hair, your diet, your hormone imbalance. When some of our clients are premenopausal, it changes their hormonal balance. So they may feel uncomfortable, or some people don't even think, oh, maybe I should tell my stylist that I've tried a different diet, or I'm on a different medication, or I'm having hormone replacements. So if I'm looking at your scalp and I'm noticing a difference, it's hard for some people to say, hey, you know, I'm having some issues. So I need to be able to be comfortable, or make my clients feel comfortable enough to say, yeah, I know that there is an issue. This is what's going on with my hormones. So I want them to be very comfortable. I want them to feel safe in vulnerable spots. And I want them to let them know that I am paying attention to you as much as you are.
Wow. Nice. And I feel like all that stuff goes into great customer service. It's not just about, you know, the style that you got, or, oh, I felt good there, but how you were treated there as well.
Yes.
Wow.
Definitely. Because we all want to feel like we get every bang for our buck. We work hard. The world is already trying to take everything from us, especially as African Americans. We already have a closed-in space. So the one space that we always should feel comfortable is in the salon. We should feel like we are ourselves in a salon. We should feel like we can talk in a salon. And whatever changes that may come, you're not alone. So you should be able to come to the salon and say, hey, these are the changes that I'm going through, and not feel like you are isolated in what's happening. So definitely.
Nice. Wow. I love that you give that, not only you give them that comfort, that education, well, you put that education on top of it, like letting them know, different things that you are realizing or picking up with them as you're doing their hair too. I feel like that kind of puts you on another level when it comes to, you as a stylist.
Thank you. I'm glad that you see that in me, especially because this is your first time in my chair. I wanted to give you the same experience that I would give anybody else. When I do my my consultations, the consultation is very in depth, and a lot of people they have to fill out forms, and they sometimes question, why are you asking me if I had pregnancies in the last 6 months, or if I smoke, if I have any allergies? Because if I plan on retaining you, I take a mental note, and I do write notes on every client that I have. So if you have a patch of hair that all of a sudden has gotten there, I want to be able to go back to that consultation form and say, yeah, that wasn't here before. I want to know or remember that, yeah, I can't use my lemongrass product or my rosemary product on that client. So it's very important to not treat my clients as a number because of the products and stuff that I actually use and the way that I pay attention to their hair.
Wow. And so off camera, you mentioned something about the difference between moisturizing and hydrating the hair. Can you explain a little bit more on what the difference is and how one can make sure they're hydrating their hair?
Yes. So the difference between moisturizing and hydrating is the location. So you can moisturize the outside of your hair. So you can put a moisturizing conditioner on there, and that'll coat the follicles. But hydrating is from the inside. So you want to hydrate your body so that inside of your follicles and things can actually help with inflammation. It can relax inflammation. It can promote hair growth, because a lot of our hair growth is stunted due to inflammation. So hydration, if a client has dry hair, and no matter what type of moisture they put on it, it still feels dry, it just soaks it all up, I recommend you drinking cucumber water. I recommend hydration packs, of course, under a doctor's recommendation or a doctor's okay. I also recommend getting more electrolytes. Things like pink Himalayan salt with honey helps with electrolytes and hydration as well. That's also a pre-workout. So if a lot of my clients are working out and they're losing a lot of, they're sweating and stuff like that, they're losing a lot of electrolytes, you can replenish them by using pink Himalayan salt and honey. Cucumbers is a good hydration snack, as well as watermelon. These are the things that I recommend. Of course, if you are on any type of high blood pressure, things like that, you want to speak to your doctor about any of those things. But yeah, hydration comes from the inside. And once you hydrate the follicles, it helps with the moisture and the shine of your hair.
Interesting. That's good information, because I feel like sometimes we get confused on if our hair looks shiny, then it's moisturized and hydrated, versus, like you say, it can be from the inside out. It's not just about applying something to the outside of the hair.
Right.
Just like how you said about the plant. What did you say about the plant again?
So the plants, just like a plant, you would want to water a plant. So the plant actually gets water from the inside. And once the branches and everything gets the water, then the branches and the leaves, they actually start to grow. But if you spray water on top of the plants, the roots are not actually hydrated. They're just, the leaves are just moisturized. So the leaves can look shiny for a while, but it won't grow, because it needs water and hydration from the inside out. So it's just the same with your hair. These are the branches of our body. So if you hydrate the roots, which is your follicles, then the branches will grow, which is your hair. Moisture is just actually the shine. You can add oil to the hair and you can moisturize the outside of the hair, and it's going to naturally look shiny. But you need to actually have hydration to promote the hair growth, which will reduce the inflammation from the inside.
Nice. And so when it comes to locks, you said that, you know, you've had your own locks, you've done lock extensions, you've done all type of styles. What's your ultimate, like, what do you just love? What's your favorite type of lock to work with or style to do?
I love working with traditional locks. I love working with thick locks like yours or wicks. Those are my favorite. I like being able to create something beautiful from something that most people would not think can actually do that. So even with, I'm looking at your grid pattern, with the more freeform grid that you do have, there's still a lot of styles that you can get. Hopefully I can achieve what I'm thinking about I'm going to do in my head, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So that's my favorite thing. Okay,
well, I'm excited to see what this flourishes into. So this is the finished product. I love it. I think it's very creative. Miss Yolanda did her big one. You did.
Yay, it came out so nice. Let me show y'all the back. And she has her hearts. And we got some pin curls on the side. And a little side bang, like back in the day, old school TLC we was talking about. So yeah. Just something a little creative.
I like it. I love the creativity of it. I feel like ain't nobody else gonna have this style. It's one of one, and it's definitely creative. It's something new. Like, this is a style that I'm not gonna have again, and no one else is gonna have. It's like a one and done type of thing. So I love that you put your artistic brush on it.
Yes, I'm glad you like it. Thank you for trusting me with your hair.
Thank you.